I've always believed it's the service. I'm attached to it. I think it's what brings in business. And I felt that way in the HME business. I was, complaining to dealers for years. I mean, I know you're in the product business. I'm really tired of hearing it, but it's the service.
What's one big thing companies consistently get wrong about customer service?
They don't understand the value of the customer. They don't get anything wrong. They just sometimes don't get the mindset right.
Louis, what would you say is harder to teach? Like the sales skills or the customer service mindset?
It's so much easier to teach sales. Oh my goodness. I mean, you really don't kind of need a trainer, but the mindset of service is a reminder business. To be honest, competition for service is worse because we got Amazon delivering product to my office in 4 hours and you can't pick up the damn phone in 2 days. So I'm telling you, I thought service was a big deal 3 years ago. Now it's a bigger deal because the competitor will destroy us.
We are live on the Claim to Fame podcast, the #1 DME podcast in the country. We have Louis Feuer on the episode today. Louis, how's it going? Welcome to the show.
It's great. Great, thank you.
Thank
you for having me.
Absolutely, man.
Louis, you've been called one of the most dynamic speakers in the country with decades of experience. But, before we get into some of the seminars and training, what first pulled you into this world of sales and customer service? And tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, it's kind of diverse. I mean, I was a social worker and a hospital administrator years ago. But to be honest with you, I've been lecturing since I'm 16. So it's a long road. But I have, in the last few years, I've always believed it's the service. People say, Louis, that's all you talk about. Do you sleep on that subject too? Yeah, I mean, my family knows about it. Strangers tell me about it. I'm attached to it. I think it's what brings in business. And I felt that way in the HME business. I was, complaining to dealers for years. I mean, I know you're in the product business. I'm really tired of hearing it. I'm impressed that you were able to buy a wheelchair. It doesn't take any smarts to do that. It's more easier now than ever. But it's the service. I mean, I don't want to buy a wheelchair from an asshole. It just doesn't sell really well. And they're out there. They're not. They just care about selling. They get a commission. But to me, it's relationships. And I've had them for 40 years. I'm working with a client next week in New York. I can't even remember when we started. A man this morning called me, said he heard me speak in Nebraska. I must have been dead then. I don't even remember being in Nebraska. So it's the relationship. And
Louis, so speaking of service, you've published over 300 articles and even created the 1 hour customer service redesign seminar. Tell us a little bit about that, and what's one big thing companies consistently get wrong about customer service?
Oh, that's a good question. It's an easy response. They don't understand the value of the customer. They don't get anything wrong. They just sometimes don't get the mindset right. It's
right.
Customer service is a reminder business. And when I wrote the book for the American Healthcare Association, the book was like 107 pages, and they said, Louis, the book is long. I said, it really only needs to be 1 page.
What would be on that one page say? Yeah, what's the one page
say? That without customers, you have no business.
Right.
The end.
I mean, I get inventory in 24 hours. I just can't get you to stay on your medication is my problem.
Right.
So if a company changed just one habit tomorrow, knowing the value of that would immediately change the
Every time someone walks into your store, you are not only selling a customer, but you're talking to a public relations agent.
Right, because they represent the brand.
Yep.
Even when they walk out and don't buy anything, they're going to tell someone about what it was like to be with your company, with your billing company. It's a people business. I don't care what it is. But, evidently it's not a big issue, I guess. I would have 3 times the customers I have now. People say, my people are nice. Well, are you sure? Maybe you should call them.
Louis, what would you say is harder to teach? Like the sales skills or the customer service mindset?
Oh, the scales is so much easier to teach sales. Oh my goodness. Keep a chart, remember where you've been, code your accounts. I mean, you really don't kind of need a trainer. I mean, I made a living doing it. I wouldn't have told you this 30 years ago. You really didn't meet me 30 years ago. You buy a good book, you'll probably be okay. But the mindset of service is a reminder business. And although I do a lot of seminars, one seminar with me is not enough. You need to put signs in your office. You need to put, I have clients that actually have said to me, Lewis, I bought the mirror. I put it by the phone so I smile before I pick it up. You're right.
It's like, not bad,
I
actually.
sometimes feel like I'm interrupting you.
Like also, like people can tell when, like if you're standing up and talking, sometimes you sound better than if you're laying in a bed and talking, right? But Lewis,
Yeah, or else you have no energy. You need to
yeah,
get someone else to
exactly.
pick
The
up the
motion creates emotion. That's what
phone.
I
Some
always
people
say.
have got the wrong people in the wrong jobs. The guy's real smart. Put him in billing. Make sure no one talks to him. Your business will do better.
What are you working on these days, Lewis? What is the
I
day to
kind of
day look for
decided
you?
people don't want
What
to commit to
excites you?
customer service. And so for years, people said, can we do the program in an hour? And I'm thinking, if that works, of course. So I've created what I call this customer service redesign. It's not a 4-hour commitment. I don't come to clients like it every month. I think in an hour, you can change the mindset of people when they start to look at the world a little differently. And, fortunately, I don't need a bedside commode just yet, but one day will come. And so you have to realize you've got to move into the world of your customer. And in that 1-hour program, and we're doing this month, we did maybe 10 or 12 of them. I think in an hour, you wake people up so that everybody from billing to scheduling to cleaning has this mindset that this customer, I said to someone the other day, he said, I'm in the medical equipment business. I said, well, you're in the changing life business. That you make life easier for people. And I said, I don't think this industry ever got it, to be honest.
Right. It's about positioning, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's people who are able to visit their grandchildren, take a vacation, all because of the HME deal. And yet most HME deals, when you ask what you do, I sell oxygen.
Right.
What do you do? What do we do when we get our oxygen? We travel, we go to the theater, we go to the food store. Oxygen has so many ramifications
Right.
that I think if everyone in the office saw the value of it. I make a joke at the bedside commode. Let me just give you an example. I don't know what you're like, but of course I'm pretty old, but when I have to go to the bathroom, I really need to go. I can almost pull up to I can see the value of a commode more than I see a lot of it. I need to go. I can't even talk anymore when I need to go.
Right.
So it's almost as they sold a bedside commode. That saves that guy from falling on the way to the bathroom.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's why I do see the concept of like positioning. Like you're changing the way that the business of DME rests in someone's mind, and that can help and turn the way that people look at a business, or the way that people sell their business, or the way that it enables people's lives. And I like that input there.
It's totally. And even when it comes to handling complaints, someone called the other day about an issue that I said, well, the way you handle the complaint is going to be repeated. We all make mistakes, but one of the things I've done in my program is to make sure we understand that we're going to make a mistake, but we're going to be judged not by the mistakes we make, but often by the way we correct them. I'm a former case manager in a hospital. I came from a 1,400-bed hospital with a large staff. I've ordered more medical equipment than anybody. Every week, every month, hundreds of orders. And I can tell you, I expected the mistake, but I was always impressed when someone learned to say, I'm sorry, and I'm going to fix it. And I try to run that by people. And it means more to me now, to be honest. Everyone is listening. I'm older than I was yesterday and way older than I was years ago. It looks different to me now. And I think we all get that. But we're so rooted in competitive bidding and pricing and everything else. But I'm telling you, without customers, you don't really care about competitive bidding. There's nothing to bid on. No one would come to you in the first place.
Lewis,
So
so
I
if I'm a DME provider today and I'm coming to you, is this more like a one-on-one coaching? Is it an online course that they go through? How do you actually work with these guys, or is it all the above?
It's probably all of the above. This is the most complicated. I work in a lot of businesses now. I've done Tennessee Bankers. I've done a lot. I've worked for Walgreens. This is a very complicated business. Because the
100%.
people that order the equipment don't use it. And the people that have it in their home often don't know why they even got it. I don't know. If that would be like going to dinner, the food comes to your plate, and serves, and Wayne says, "Who ordered this?" And I'd have to tell you, we haven't got another table ordered it for you.
And what do I do with this
That's how
chicken
medical
farm? Yeah.
equipment works.
Right.
So as a dealer, I tell them, realize that you work in an industry, if you understand, and we have a customer like no other business because our customers do not want to be our customers. No one ever spends their life waiting for the day when they're going to need oxygen. They don't even say it. People save for vacation. They save to buy a pair of shoes or a shirt. Who saves to spend money in our business?
Right.
So when I tell people, when I coach them, I said, you realize you have the most disgruntled, angry customer ever.
Right.
Not a
Right.
good thing, but I mean, it's not like going to Dairy Queen to get ice cream. That's kind of exciting in my life.
Yes. This isn't. It's not the
I'm not
sexiest
saving
industry.
for
but-
electric bed.
Right. Lewis, you've spoken at nearly every major healthcare convention, I'd say. Can you share a story where a company came back later and said, that talk changed our business?
I can think of a couple. A couple of people said to me, we've never thought about the service.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've had a lot of people say, Lewis, until I spoke to you, it just really wasn't an issue. We've never actually, I remember one man, he has 26 pharmacies, and he said, I've never called my own pharmacy.
Right. You don't even know what the
It was
experience is
Scripps
like.
Pharmacy, maybe in the Midwest. He said, I never called my own pharmacy to see what it's like till you tell me to do that.
Sure.
Actually, he called me to do it, and I said, no, I'm not doing that for you. Why would you pay someone? Call your own pharmacy.
Yeah.
And he called it, and he said, my goodness, the phone just rings and rings. So I always recommend to people, because I still hear that the cheapest and the most effective consultant is the owner. You don't need us. The world would go on without Lewis Feuer, that's for sure. You need to be committed to being your own auditor. You need to go look at the bills, and I know Wayne's from it. Look at your own bills on why they're coming back. You have to wait for someone to tell you you're not getting the right data. You're not asking the right questions. You're not submitting them in the right time. So what I've learned is there's a lot of owners who just have focused on the wrong thing. So you have to take different staff members and give them a responsibility, because the bottom line is you are your best consultant. And the second thing that I remember that I learned was speaking at a convention, and a lady from Hyatt came up to me and said, Lewis, the best person at the Hyatt to help us save money has been our employees.
Right.
I said, are you kidding? Because they had hired this huge consulting firm. I said, ma'am, are you serious? She said, yes, but you know what? Most people don't even look at the employees as consultants. I mean, you think you need to sit down with your staff? I know you don't find it valuable because you don't pay them for consulting. But some of the staff have the best solutions to how you can make more money, to how you can be more effective with your customer, how you can improve your service. Do that first before you call me. Because if you haven't heard from them, and they're free, then you know what? You're wasting that. I'm just the icing on the cake. The real cake's in your office.
Yep, it's like the best feedback loop you can get is actually talking to your customers. It's like having a textbook that's giving you all the answers to the test, basically. It's how I look at it.
Yeah. And I've recommended to come, and those who hear my seminar say one of my recommendations is invite your top 2 customers every year to come into your office and tell them why they love your business.
Totally. No, it's a great exercise.
Don't worry about just randomly picking people, because you're going to get some guy's going to be there just loving screaming at y'all. Pick 2 people that say, we love you. So, well, you know what? I'm going to bring you in. I'm going to have you sit with my 6 staff here and tell them what you love about us, because we need to do that over and over again.
For sure. Yeah, I do a lot of
awesome.
case studies
So
here at Eagle
simple.
Health. And it's funny that you ask a lot of questions, you find out information about what problems they were having before, why it's better now, and you uncover so much gold of information that you didn't even think that how it changed their life and how it impacted their staff, or how productivity improved, all these different things that weren't, what I was out to ask for, but I got all that great stuff in return.
Wouldn't it be interesting to find out that there's an employee in your office that they don't like, and it's all about that employee?
It's never
You've
Wayne.
lost like $300,000 worth of business because of one jerk.
Hasn't happened yet, but yeah.
Then I would call you if you got rid of him.
Right.
Then that make things easier. You wouldn't need a consultant. You just fire him, you'd be fine.
Right. Boom,
Easy
moving along.
peasy. Lewis, since we're on the podcast, I have to ask you. This definitely isn't your first podcast. I think you have your own, right? My business is your
I
business.
do one. My business is your business.
That's
You've been
awesome.
doing
And
it
there's
for
listeners
40
around the
years.
world. Why did you start that? How is that different than the seminars? What's some of the topics you guys cover?
Oh, I can say things there I probably wouldn't say. Not that I'm known to be reserved, as you can figure out. Yeah, it's more conversational. I mean, I say what I feel. I don't think about it a lot. I've been at it a long time. There's things, I worked for a division of one of those accrediting companies. I reviewed 2,400 surveys before I quit. There's stuff I'd like to share that I learned. And I love doing it. I have a large audience that's not in this country for whatever reason. Podcasts do strange things. But, my
That's
work
interesting.
is kind of generic. Service is
Yeah,
generic.
service is service at the end of the day.
Being nice, I guess is a
Is
hard thing, even if
is
it's not
most
sincere.
Yeah, yeah, I get it totally. Is most of the work that you've done in HME, or is it across other industries, or primarily healthcare?
Yeah, I'm more diverse now than I was.
Yeah.
I haven't been gone to Medtrade. It just for me, I've been doing it a long time. I've got a lot of clients. I have a huge client in Canada with about 40 locations, I guess. And I do some work. I traveled when Medtrade was in Europe years ago. We did the European Home Care Commission, so I've still acquired some clients that are in Europe, and I've got them all over the world. I have a consulting firm in Israel, and of course, clients in the States, a lot of home care. I did Visiting Angels, Walgreens, I've done them all.
That's great.
The best part, it's the same. People are the same. People who are nice to people get business. I mean, I wish
Yeah.
you may not have the best product. You may be a little slower in delivering, but when you have that relationship with people, it's such a wonderful thing. And I've had that as a personal thing. I mean, I've acquired, many friends in the industry.
I definitely agree with you on that. Especially DME, it's big, but it's definitely tight knit, and we got pretty far alone just on relationships. Like, we didn't always do a lot of advertising. We didn't have people pounding the phones calling DMEs to switch software. It was really through building relationships, being an advocate of the industry, being a halfway decent person, friendly, and that definitely goes a long way. And I've made tons of friends through DME that I've known over the years. If I ever leave DME, I'll definitely still be friends with them. There's a lot of great people, but it's a
It's a great
big,
industry.
complex
You're
business.
changing
But
lives.
yeah, it's
What
at the
you're
end of the
doing
day,
is a little bit more
the common
important.
theme
I'm
is at the end of all of this, there's patience at the end of all of these conversations and softwares and service. So it's cool.
Yeah, I think usually at the end of the day, people just buy from people they like, right? And if you could be decent, people will want to buy from you.
People do business. I have two slides I've used. People do business with people they like, and people do business with people that are easy to do business with.
Sure.
Keep those two things in mind. I mean, yeah, I'm going to make a mistake, but I can fix it.
Right.
And if I can't fix it, I find someone who can fix it. So, and there are people's lives at stake. I mean, I do want you to get paid, and certainly, Wayne helps them get paid, but we want you to help get paid more often. And you can't afford a public relations company, most companies, and your customer becomes your customer relation. I mean, I'll be honest, I remember working with American Express years ago, and they said, "Do you have a video, a tape you could send us?" I said, "No." And they said, "You're kidding." I said, "No, I'm doing it, 40 years. I don't have a video. I have clients. Videos don't pay well, but clients do. I don't have a video." But you can call my friends
Yeah.
because you're, as you know, guys, and Wayne knows, your customer becomes your public relations firm.
Totally. Couldn't agree
Just
more.
like all you can do.
Lewis, let me ask you a question. You've done many seminars over the course of your career. What would be 3 takeaways that someone who's going to do a seminar, what should they do or think about to make sure that it goes over successful? Is there a framework? How would you teach that to somebody?
That's a great question. I do a lot of work for SCORE, and we do one called Making a Great Presentation. One thing is know your audience. I do my homework. And that includes how you dress and the words you say. I mean, who's
Right.
there? You're going to talk to a bunch of drivers that don't wear a suit. Really, look at the
Yeah.
guy. So you need to do the homework before you get there. Who's going to be in the room? How many people are going to be there? How long they've worked where they're working? Are they power brokers in their company? Are they working at a hospital base? Have they been there 22 years? So I do my homework extensively because I want to make sure I know what they're interested in. Number two, I find out really what they want, what they're interested in. I stop doing presentations based on what I think is interesting and what I
Right.
think is important because they may have a totally different perspective. So I do my homework, I find out what they're interested in, and I make sure when it's over, it's really not over. It's just the beginning. People can say, well, I did it, it's done. No, it was just the door opener.
Right.
Because most of what people hear, 80% of it, they lose within 30 days. All they remember is the guy had a black sweater on. They don't remember anything else. So if you walk out and you think, don't you remember me? Probably not.
Right.
I mean,
That
they
was
may
the-
remember me because I'm off the wall and I may say a four-letter word, but that's what they'll remember. I was entertaining. What did he say? I don't really know what he said. He just kind of
Right.
had a fun time for a while.
Right.
So do your homework, find out what they want to hear about, and remember it's not over till the order comes in. So you may have
I
to
like
call
that.
them, may have to visit them. What is that? It's not over till the fat lady sings. And that was somebody
Right.
said. It's really not over. That
Right
when
on.
you do a presentation to a staff, it's just kind of a get to know me, and I'm like not a bad person to do business.
It's just the beginning.
Easy. But people get nervous. I mean, when I first started this business, oh my God, the first 2 years were terrible. What if they asked me a question and I don't have an answer? Oh my.
Right.
I couldn't wait till it was over. I'd be right in the cab. Go on, is it not? Take any question.
Right. Right.
I mean, I don't know anything about. I didn't know TID, BID, infusion. I didn't know nothing.
You're just like, let me get out of here so no one follows up with me.
And now I don't care if you find out how dumb I am.
Does that
I
come with
said to people
experience?
every day. I traveled the country doing infusion programs with some lady I remember years ago. On the fifth day, I said to her, she said, Louis, what do you think about these ports and pumps and discussion? I said, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. I live in Florida. We have a port here. Ships come in. That's as far as I get it.
Right,
I don't
right.
I don't know where the ports and pumps go.
That's
She said,
funny.
you sit here all day and don't say anything. I said, yeah, you're so intimidating. So I try not to be intimidating. Ask me a question. If I don't know it, that's fine.
Yeah, just be honest, right?
How much do you say a month? I don't know.
Louis, let me ask you, after decades of speaking and consulting and doing your thing, what do you want your legacy to be?
Well, I hope I changed customer service mindset. I mean, I spent a lot of time. I hope I opened people's eyes. And I've done it now, tried it full time in the last 4 or 5 years. I'm just focused on service. I really think it's a revenue generator. I mean, you could look at financial reports and P&L statements and billing.
Sure.
People say, oh, why are my revenues down? You know what? I wonder if your people are down.
Sure. Yeah. No, it's a lever.
I mean, I really, and maybe I'm wrong. I'm often told I'm wrong. My family says I'm making a big issue out of the waiter being rude. I said, I know, but I'm never coming back. He said, but the food's good. I said, I don't care. I'm not coming back. You could be the only wheelchair company in Scottsbluff, Nebraska. I'll get it online because your staff is rude.
Right, right.
I don't see now, to be honest, competition for service is worse because we got Amazon delivering product to my office in 4 hours and you can't pick up the damn phone in 2 days. So I'm telling you, I thought service was a big deal 3 years ago. Now it's a bigger deal because the competitor will destroy us.
Totally.
So my
No,
legacy is wake up, folks, because that little chat lady in the corner is your competitor.
I agree. I mean, like, listen, you go on American Express, you have a question, the first person you speak to that's going to be your customer service, and then they don't know the answer. You're waiting for 40 minutes. The only thing I'm thinking about is how bad I hate this company.
It scares me. I go online and that little lady says, are you looking for a book?
Right.
Can I help you find the right? And I call your office and you can't return the call in 6 hours. I can get the delivery in 6 hours.
Right.
So I'm more focused and wound up now than it was a few years ago. Because when people said to me, oh, there's only 2 medical equipment companies in my small town. I said, jerk, do you have Amazon?
Right.
That's your competitor.
Right. Wake up,
I never
people.
thought about that. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. You just, you turn on your computer and go to buy something, and the AI lady pops up. Are you looking for a car?
Right.
we
With that
help you?
mentality, Amazon will be the only person selling in your community. So,
Well, I was against it. I was against the online ordering. I was against all that. But you know what? At least they respond. It may be a dummy behind the AI, but
Right.
at least someone knows I'm alive. And I
Right.
walk in your store and I stand there and I end up sitting in a seat lift chair till you can help me.
right. Right. No, right on. Lewis, I usually we move on to the rapid fire to close out every episode. It's kind of a this or that type of segment. If you're ready, we could jump right into it.
Well, I'm ready for you.
Okay, cool. Win a new customer or keep an existing one happy?
How to keep, well, an existing company happy is stay in touch with them. That you still know after the first order that they're around. The new customer, be nice whether they buy or not.
Right, right. Write an article or record a podcast episode?
I like a podcast, although it does have its issues because it's hard to deny what you said.
True.
I can
Yeah.
say the article, really, I didn't really mean it. But podcast can be repeated.
Red-handed, caught.
ad
Yeah.
nauseam.
Small workshop or keynote to 1,000 people?
Personally, I love the audience, as you can tell. Small workshop has its disadvantages. People are afraid to talk because they're sitting amongst their staff.
Yep.
And then they have to meet me in the parking lot and say, Luz, I wanted to tell you, our boss is an idiot.
I can see both sides of the equation there. Coffee before a seminar or no coffee at all?
Oh, I have to have coffee before.
Right on.
You think this comes naturally, this loud, obnoxious guy? No, this is no coffee. It's like medicine.
One big client or 10 small clients?
I love the small clients. Small clients can't afford to make a mistake. They listen better.
There you go.
Big
What's
clients. I have a lot of big clients. They sometimes miss out. They miss the
Right.
personal touch. They've got all this automated everything.
What's tougher, handling a complaint or closing a sale?
I find it easier to close a sale. The complaint comes with maybe a history of anger and not towards my medical equipment company, but maybe to one they dealt with previously. So sometimes I have a history of anger to deal with. It's really hard. And I understand they're angry. They're sick. They don't want to be sick. They don't want to need you. They've had 4 other companies trying to help them. So closing sale is so much easier. And I don't call it a sale, Alex. I never ask for sales. I ask for opportunities. If I could just show you what
go.
I could do, the sale call, I've never asked for anyone in my life for their business. Never, ever. It's not a word in my vocabulary.
Well,
I
that's
don't
great.
want your business. I want your trust. I want your loyalty. I want the opportunity to show you what I can do.
I like that. I love it. Well, Lewis, if anyone wants to contact you or reach out to you or find any more about your business, how can they contact you?
Yeah, they can go to dynamicseminars.com, www.dynamicseminars.com. You can reach me at lewis@dynamicseminars.com or right on my cell phone, 954-243-8687. If you have a question or an idea, don't hesitate to give me a call. A client that you can't solve the problem, we're happy to help you solve it over the phone.
Amazing.
And
Well,
thank you.
Lewis, thanks so much for joining us today. And anyone who's listening right now who's not a subscriber yet to the Claim to Fame podcast, please do. Lewis, this has been fun. Hopefully we can do this again.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Thank
See
you,
ya.
everybody.